Hello everybody, today I'm going to be giving my presentation on AI in cyber defense. If you go look at the presentation for yourself, you can start this video and it'll give you kind of like a better effect while you read. So to start it off, I'm going to talk about the problem we don't see coming. Cyber attacks have changed in a way most people don't fully realize. In the past, scams were often too easy to recognize because they had spelling mistakes, strange links, or obvious warning signs. But that's not how it is today. They use AI to create messages, voices, and even videos that look and sound real. These are designed to blend in with normal communication, which makes them harder to protect. This shift matters because it removes the biggest line of defense people used to rely on: instinct. If something looks real, most people will trust it, and that's exactly what the attackers are hoping for. Why it's getting worse. One of the biggest reasons this problem is growing is accessibility. AI is easily accessible to anybody with a phone. Most AI apps on the App Store or online are free and can do something like mimicking someone's voice. I have this video right here as an example.
I just switched from Android to Apple, but I don't know how to delete photos off of here. I want to delete this right here. However you get rid of that, I'm just trying to figure it out.
I don't know, but
You have no idea how to get rid of this? Huh.
In that video, you saw how that guy was able to use AI to make a video of this man right here and show it to him, and he had easy and quick access to the AI and the ability to make something like that. Imagine what attackers are using it for. How it affects everyday people. For individuals, these attacks feel personal, and that's exactly the point. AI allows attacks to mimic real people by copying their voice, writing style, or online behavior. Someone might receive a text message that sounds exactly like a friend or a family member, and they're asking them for help. In that moment, most people obviously won't question it. This makes the scams more effective than ever. In this video, you'll see a lady was a victim of AI whenever her friends and family were getting calls from her where it looked and sounded like her, but it wasn't. I'll let you watch that in the presentation if you go look at it. Why companies face even greater risks. While individuals are vulnerable, businesses face an even larger threat because of the amount of data and access they manage. AI-driven attacks can be designed to imitate employee behavior, allowing them to move through systems without triggering alerts. An attacker could generate emails that match how a specific employee writes or requests that appear to come from management. Once inside a system, these attacks can spread quickly, accessing sensitive information or disrupting operations. Employees are often the first target because they are the easiest entry point. Even a well-secured system can be compromised if just one person is tricked. There are a few risks behind this. One of those is bypassing traditional security systems, accessing confidential data, spreading through internal networks, and causing financial and operational data. What happens if we ignore it? If the problem continues to grow without a strong response, the consequences will become more serious over time. AI is constantly improving, which means future attacks will be even more realistic and even harder to detect than they are today. We would likely see a steady increase in identity theft, financial fraud, and large-scale data breaches. People may begin to lose trust in digital communication entirely, which would affect everything from personal relationships to business operations. There's two videos of how people used AI to recreate someone's voice. I'll let you watch those whenever you go look at the presentation if you do. What we've tried and why it hasn't worked. Cybersecurity has evolved over time, but most systems were not designed for a level of complexity AI introduces. Early systems used anomaly detection, which focused on identifying behavior that didn't match normal patterns. While this helped detect unusual activity, it didn't always identify the source or intent of the threat. Behavior analytics improved this approach by tracking how users typically interact with system. These tools created a baseline and flagged deviations. However, they required large amounts of data and constant updates to remain effective. Machine learning added another layer by allowing systems to learn from past data. Over time, these systems became better at recognizing patterns. Still, they often react after an attack has already begun, which limits their effectiveness. Overall, these past methods laid the foundation for modern security, but they are no longer enough on their own as AI has grown too strong. What should be done? To effectively combat AI driven cyber attacks, cybersecurity must evolve in the same direction. This means I believe AI should not just be used as a tool for attackers, but for people trying to defend themselves as well. Combine this with human awareness and border access to protection, this approach offers the strongest response to the problem. What this approach should achieve. The goal is not just to react to attacks, but to prevent them before they cause any sort of damage. A strong system should be able to recognize unusual behavior immediately and respond in real time. This means that they can detect threats as they happen, reduce reliance on human reaction time, minimize damage from successful attacks, and provide protection to both companies and individuals. A smarter and faster defense system. AI has the ability to process massive amounts of data in real time. This allows it to identify patterns and detect unusual behavior much faster than a human could. Instead of looking only for known threats, AI systems can focus on what doesn't match normal activity. This shift is important because modern attacks are constantly changing. A system that only looks for known threats will always be behind. By focusing on behavior instead, AI can identify threats even if they've never seen them before. In addition to detection, AI can also assist in responding to these threats. For example, it can limit access, flag suspicious activity, or isolate parts of a system before damage spread. This creates a faster and more controlled response. How it will be implemented. The process obviously will start with collecting data from systems, devices, and user activity. This data will be used as a baseline to represent normal behavior for the AI to make sure it doesn't deviate from. Next, a development team builds and trains AI models using that data. These models learn to recognize patterns. These models learn to recognize patterns and identify when something falls outside of the expected range. Once the system is active, it begins by flagging suspicious activity and alerting users or employees. Over time, as the system becomes more reliable, it can begin taking controlled actions such as limiting access or isolating threats. As new threats appear, the system updates itself and improves. This allows it to adapt instead of becoming outdated. Why people still matter. Even the most advanced AI system cannot replace human awareness. Many attacks succeed because people trust without questioning it. Training helps reduce the risk. Employees and individuals should learn how AI-generated content works and what signs to look for. This includes recognizing unusual requests, verifying messages, and being cautious with links, among other things. When people and technology work together, the overall system becomes much stronger. Making security more accessible. Not everyone has access to advanced cybersecurity tools. This creates an imbalance where individuals are more vulnerable than organizations. A public AI-based protection service could help solve this problem. It could scan messages, detect suspicious content, and warn users before they interact with it. This would extend protection beyond companies and make it available to a wider audience. Can this actually be done? The solution is realistic because the technology already exists. Many companies are already using AI in limited ways for security. Expanding its role is a natural next step. While there are upfront costs, AI systems can reduce long-term expenses by automating, monitoring, and reducing the need for large security teams. Training programs can also be implemented at a relatively low cost. There are environmental concerns as well since AI systems require energy. However, these can be managed through efficient design and renewable energy use. What improves if this works? This approach would lead to faster detection, reduced damage, and stronger overall security. Both individuals and businesses would benefit from the increased protection. Over time, this could also restore trust in digital systems, which is becoming more important as technology continues growing. What needs to happen now? AI-driven cyber attacks are not a future problem, they are happening right now. Waiting to respond only gives attackers more time to improve. Companies need to invest in stronger defense systems. Individuals need to become more aware of how these attacks work. Developers need to continue improving AI tools for security. The same technology that creates the problem can also solve it, but only if action is taken. If we don't adapt to this new reality, we may risk falling behind it. Thank you for listening to this video, and I hope you learned something.